Hellgate is making a comeback through Steam Greenlight. Space Wings are on their way to Warframe. No More Room in Hell adds a new casual mode and more maps. Path of Exile's Forsaken Masters expansion is now live, and Riot wants to help retired League of Legends pros. All these stories and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. During their first ever live dev stream from this year's Gamescom, Warframe developer Digital Extremes announced Warframe would be headed to the Xbox One on September 2nd. However, even more surprising, the revelation that soon players will be able to transform their futuristic space ninjas into flying ones, as they soar through the cosmos in Warframe's upcoming update 15, named Archwing. Archwing doesn't have a time frame for release yet, but when it does, you'll have the option to attach wings to your Tenno and cruise through the black, shooting and slashing your foes in glorious 3D action. No word yet on how much free-flying freedom players can expect while in space, or whether a motion sickness bag will be offered as an add-on in the cash shop. Hellgate is coming to Steam. Sort of. Well, maybe. The original Hellgate London was a dark, moody, post-apocalyptic, demon-infested shoot-'em-up that received minor acclaim in 2007, but bugs in a so-so multiplayer implementation doomed it after less than 2 years. It rose from the dead as a free-to-play game in 2011, but didn't really garner much attention. And now it's back on Steam. Or at least, it might be on Steam if enough people approve of it through Steam's Greenlight program. The thing is, there isn't much out there in terms of announcements, press releases, or anything like that. Just like, boop, here's Hellgate! Again? Known as Hellgate Global in the Greenlight description, the new name doesn't seem to appear anywhere on the game's official site. The Greenlight trailer for the game also happens to be Hellgate's original trailer from back in 2007. Perhaps even stranger, the game's description lists the Tokyo patch as the most recent content addition to the game. But the Tokyo patch was originally announced in 2009 and debuted during Hellgate's return as a free-to-play game in 2011. The question of whether this is a full-on relaunch or just an attempt to get on Steam after 3 years of mostly anonymous with no content updates remains to be unanswered. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. 7 Deadly Masters awaits in the shadows to train you in Path of Exile's newly launched expansion, Forsaken Masters. As the name suggests, the content update's main focus deals with players exploring the wretched underbelly of Rayclast in search of knowledge from some of the more senior exiles. These masters have ample knowledge, customizable town locations, and crafting goods to divulge, just so long as you're willing to do something in return. Nothing in life is free. While taking part in one of each master's unique missions, players can take note of other changes to the core game, such as the revamp to large underused portions of PoE's massive skill tree. Many of the game's initial boss fights have also been redone to increase their challenge, while challenge junkies can participate in one of 2 new challenge leagues, Rampage and Beyond. Rampage rewards players who can maintain kill streaks by giving them exponentially increasing attack speed, damage, and movement speed. Meanwhile, the Beyond Challenge mode attempts to drown players in demons, spawning portal after portal filled with increasingly difficult demons, before culminating in a unique boss fight. Once a mod for Half-Life 2, No More Room in Hell continues to somehow find room left for more. The hardcore cooperative shooter just enjoyed a major content update courtesy of patch 1.08, which adds 4 new maps, 3 new playable characters, a new weapon, and a brand new casual mode. For those who found No More Room in Hell's difficulty a little hellish, the new casual mode aims to tune down the challenges of surviving a zombie apocalypse to more manageable levels of difficulty. Among other things, this new difficulty means players can now spawn in with a melee weapon, drop into an ongoing game, and have access to a few respawn tokens off the bat. Both the hardcore and the casual crowds can take to the streets in 3 new objective maps, Brooklyn, Zephyr, and Cleopas, or hold up in the new map Midwest for some end-of-the-line survival mode gameplay. To tackle these new maps, players can now choose between new players with fitting apocalyptic names like Badass, Butcher, or Rogue? I don't know how to say that name. They can even add the new FNFAL rifle to their stockpile. Have you tried out the new casual mode? With a typical retired professional MOBA player, be they from Dota 2 or League of Legends, being only in his mid-20s, Riot Games wants to try and help gently ease their aging superstars into retirement, as well as teaching them how to manage themselves during their peak years and grow their brand. As reported by Polygon, Riot is creating regular summits that aim to teach pro gamers how to maintain their personal brand, drawing influence from real-world sport programs already in place. EU Esports Jason Ye compared these summits to the NFL's Rookie Symposium, which he says is basically an orientation program similar to what Riot is doing. Riot's events cover everything from proper conduct in the public eye to interviewing tips, brand building, and general media training. The studio says players will be able to use these tools both during their professional gaming careers as well as any future career endeavors afterwards. The Curse of Naxxramas expansion for Hearthstone had some nice gameplay, but what CCG gamers really want is new cards. Lots and lots of new cards. I agree with this. Blizzard has heard these unrelenting cries, and late last week, Hearthstone senior game designer Mike Donay spilled the beans on the next release during the final episode of Chanman 5's Value Town podcast, announcing that the game would receive a full expansion on the order of 100 cards. As for when you'll get your virtual hands on these cards, well, there wasn't even a whisper of soon to be had. Obviously, extra efforts goes into coding card effects, which is something physical card games just don't have to deal with. However, if this is the only additional product coming from Hearthstone in the near future, it means we'll get around 130 new cards, including Nax in the first year of the game's release. Compare that to Magic the Gathering, releases 500 to 600 new cards a year, and one has to wonder if Blizzard will need to pick up the pace just a little with Hearthstone. The players hoping for new hero classes such as the Death Knight or Monk will also be saddened to hear Donay confirm Blizzard was not working on any new classes to supplement the current roster. No, you're not experiencing deja vu. OG Planet has indeed just recently released their own third-person shooter, Dizzel, to players across North America and Europe through Steam Early Access. With several different game modes and an over-the-shoulder camera angle, Dizzel looks to join the likes of other recently released TPS titles like ZMR and Hazard Ops, in order to scratch the itch TPS fans have been looking to satisfy for quite some time. This is especially true given the fact that it channels well-known third-person shooters like Gears of War and offers a wide variety of armaments to choose from, assault rifles and shotguns to swords and axes as well, giving you a few ways to mix up how you want to murder your prey. Dizzel's Early Access launch features new in-game content and events for both already established players and incoming fresh meat, including 5 new maps, new armor and gear, and even a new playable female character to unleash carnage with, bringing new meaning to the phrase, "if looks could kill." Speaking of kills, Dizzel does them up in a style with fatalities done Mortal Kombat style, and special game modes like Annihilation, where each team plays as sentient war machines or Predator, where one player is chosen to play as a boss. Make sure there's plenty of different ways to enjoy yourself in Dizzel. And the game of the week is Dark Blood Online. Dark Blood Online is a mature 3D side-scrolling hack-and-slash RPG set in a dark fantasy world that offers players the chance to play as one of 4 main classes, each of which possesses 2 distinct subclasses for players to choose from as they level up. Similar to other arcade-like action games like Dungeon Fighter Online, Dark Blood has players mashing keys to pull off high-action combos, shredding waves of enemies with flurries of flashy spells and whirling blades. Combos are complex in their own right, as correctly executed combos rewarded players with significant mana cost reductions and boosted damage. While Dark Blood offers players plenty of solo and group PvE dungeons with more than 250 different types of monsters to encounter, the action RPG also focuses its attention on PvP, giving players access to a variety of 1v1 arena maps, each with their own unique challenges. As players defeat others at their own skill level, they will advance by the ranking boards, with the top players earning unique rewards at the end of each week. So, if you're looking for a solid arcade-like side-scroller with plenty of combo-centered action, a wide variety of enemies, and competitive PvP, then be sure to check out Dark Blood Online. We're not going to be here next week again because we'll be at PAX Prime, so if you see any of us, stop by, say hi, and I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys the week after. And that's going to be all on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. And be sure to head over to MMOBomb.com for more free-to-play action. Until next time, Natsumii out.